What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. This is going to be your review for Ready to Love Season 3 finale. So, Denise leaves. I think we already talked about that last week. I don't think we actually saw like a whole dramatic moment with anybody sitting down with her. Baby, she just packed her stuff and she got up out of there. So, we start this episode off. We see everybody having a toast to Denise. Yeah, whatever, y'all. And then, Rashid was like, I'm feeling some kind of way about the fact that I'm in a three-way situation with Kelfani and Adrian because, I felt like from the very beginning, me and Adrian was sort of, we was connected and I thought I was her number one. And then all of a sudden I look up and, Kelfani came from behind and he beat me in the race. And so he has a conversation with Adriana and he asked her, I really appreciate Rashid. At first I thought Rashid was a little goofy and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to feel about him when I look, like the old Meet the Cast. But he actually ended up being one of my favorite guys on this show. And, he said, listen, I just need to know, because this is how I feel. And this is how I have felt pretty much the whole show. This whole situation, I have felt this way. And if we ain't on the same page, that's cool. Just let me know we're not on the same page. Like, I need to know if you feeling something different. And, Adrian, I think, was about 80% honest in her answer and saying, listen, I like both of you and both of you make me feel good in a different way. I don't know how to explain it. I can't put my finger on it. Now, that's the part I don't believe. Here's what I think the difference is. It's just me. Rashid is safe. She know what she gonna get from Rashid. Rashid is safe. Kelfani is the mystery box. She don't know what's inside. And it's like that show Let's Make a Deal where you got a brand new kitchen in front of you, kitchenette in front of you, but you don't know what's behind that box. And you think behind that door, and what's behind that door might be a brand new car. And so you say, let me get what's behind that door, and it end up being, a box full of feathers. See, that's what you was gambling on. But that's my opinion. I don't know that woman heart. That's just how I feel. But Rashid was like, okay, I hear you. I still don't know how I feel about it, but I hear what you're saying. So this whole thing was, it's time to meet the family. So Winter and Anthony, because ain't nobody fighting for nothing over there, because Denise is gone. It's just Winter and Anthony. So Winter and Anthony, we meet her sister Keisha. Now, here's the thing. I think the biggest issue with Anthony for a while now has been Anthony saying, listen, I've never been in love. And like I said before, I think he's been in love. I think he stopped himself from acting on love. Because here's the reality. You can't stop yourself from falling in love. You can stop yourself from acting on those emotions. You can't stop being in love. Love is what it is. There's a whole lot of times that people in love with people they don't want to be in love with. But you don't have to act like a fool. You don't have to be a part of a situation. But again, Winter's thing is, that concerns me. But if he is open and he's ready to love, if he really is truly ready, then I don't mind being that person that helps him, move into that. But I need to make sure that he's ready to love, that he's ready for this, right? But the sister liked Anthony. She liked his honesty. She liked his answers. And she was like, you invited to the cookout, bruh. So he was like, oh, I'm in there. I'm invited to the cookout. Okay, cool. Now, later on in the episode, we met Anthony's sister / his best friend. And it went well. But if I were Winter, I would have been taken aback because the sister kept saying about Anthony never being serious about a woman, never allowing himself to be in love before. Like what he said. But it's one thing to say it. It's something else when somebody outside confirms it. Because I can tell you all day long, I ain't never been a fool for love. And then you meet somebody I was in college with and be like, you remember, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then you be sitting there like, oh yeah, that did happen. You know what I mean? And so she just kept saying things along those lines of her being, surprised that he's ready and that he's ready. And listen, I think Anthony's a good guy, and I think Anthony is ready. I think because like he said, I was in love with football all these years, and now football is gone. And so, yes, I am ready for that. So I think he is ready, but I really truly would be concerned if I were Winter about the situation. Um, but when it all boiled down at the end of the episode, they walked away together, right? Cool. That was like, let's get into this three-way situation. So Adriana, Kelfani's parents came first. And his parents are I think are they from the islands, or I think they're from the islands. I feel like that was an island, a Caribbean accent, but don't quote me on that, y'all. And they stressed that religion is very important in their family and going to church, and that they have a big family and they spend a lot of time together. And, I feel like Adriana was saying all the right things, but I feel like Adriana was saying all the right things. I don't feel like it was genuine. I feel like it was, oh, well, I'm supposed to say that I like, that I wouldn't mind having dinner with you every single Sunday after church. I'm supposed to say that, right? Oh, I'm supposed to say that. Well, I didn't grow up close to my family, but I look forward to having a big family. I'm supposed to say that, right? Oh, I'm supposed to say that I don't have no problem with the fact that he already has a child and that I want many more kids. Like, I just feel like she was saying what she thought the right answer was, not because that's really how she felt. Yeah. So, I mean, it went well, and, his parents seemed to like her and everything. It was cool. Then her dad came. Well, no, let me rewind. Rashid actually had a conversation with his sister, because Rashid was like, listen, that little voice in the back of my mind is telling me Adriana already knows what she wants, and that ain't me. And his thing is, I don't have no problem pursuing a woman, but I do have a problem chasing one. And I said, you know what, Rashid? That is such a great distinction. There is a huge difference between pursuing and chasing. That is such a great distinction. I was like, I'm here for that. I was here for it. And, excuse me, I feel like, so he called his sister because he was like, listen, ain't no need me bringing my family down here for nothing. Like, I'm not about wasting their time because I don't want my time wasted. And so he called his sister on, Zoom or FaceTime, whatever. They had it up on the big screen. And he told his sister how he felt. He said, I was really feeling her. I really thought we was on the same page. And then somewhere along the way, I wasn't number one anymore. And where I stand now, I kind of feel like I'm not her number one. And, I'm cool with her not being the one. Like, I came here looking for love, and if I don't find it, it's okay. She's not the one, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm ready, but if I'm not the one for her, like, I'd rather know now before we go into a whole long situation. And so it's like, well, the sister told him. The sister said, well, listen, bro, like, it sounded to me like you already know. And he said, well, but she told him, she said, if you really feel that way, then, because he was like, I'm ready to leave. Like, I can just leave and just let it be what it's going to be. And she said, if you really feel that way, then, do what you feel like you need to do. She said, but at the end of the day, it's no need in quitting now. Like, you at the finish line. Like, finish it out. See what it is. You never know. And he was like, yeah, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. And he said, well, do you want to come down? And sister was like, yeah, no, I'm good. No, I'm good. And I said, Rashid, that's you should have known then when sister said, nah, I don't even need to come and meet her. Because I feel like at that point, you've already sort of tainted her to your sister. Because I know if you my sister, you my sister. If I'm your sister, I'm going to be giving her the side eye like, okay then. So then Adrian and Kelfani had a conversation, and Kelfani basically asked her the same thing Rashid was asking, but he was a little more direct with it. Like, the way he said it was a little more, in my opinion, a little rude. But, what is it about him? Why is it even a competition? What is it that you still haven't made up your mind about? What is it that you still ain't figured out, And she told him the same thing, I like both of y'all, but it's in a different way, we share feelings, but our feelings are different, And Yeah, I already said what I think that difference is. So anyway, so then her dad came. Now her dad is a therapist as well as a minister. So, or a pastor or something. What he say? What she say? He was the church superintendent or something. Oh no, that was Anthony's parents were church superintendent. Anyway, her father's a minister as well as a therapist. And listen, Dad, and this is no disrespect. I feel like Dad was trying to ask these pseudo deep questions because they sounded good, but they were dumbass questions. Like, what makes you you? What makes you this? How do you feel? And then he got into a conversation with Kelfani about scripture and what does that mean to you, bruh. We're not doing no pop quiz. We're not having Bible study. You are not going to sit here and ask me to break down chapter and verse and what it means to me. We're not doing that. Like, I felt like that was a whole lot extra. I just felt like that was a whole lot extra. And then with Rashid, again, they had a conversation and they had a lot in common. They both, went to HBCUs in the same general area. And I mean, clearly decades apart. But, and so I felt like now, from the outside looking in, I thought Rashid had the better conversation with the dad. But then when we saw behind this, we saw the conversation she had with her father was like, listen, I like both of them, but I don't really feel the chemistry between you and Rashid. I really feel the chemistry between you and Kelfani. And I'm like, is it because y'all had that whole Bible study conversation? Because I didn't see that. But okay. Because remember, her best friend said the exact opposite. Remember, her best friend said, listen, I like Kelfani, but I feel like Rashid is more your stilo. Okay. So, ultimately, Adrian goes to have a conversation with Rashid after she talks to her dad. And she basically lets Rashid know, listen, I really like you a lot, but basically, I'm going with Kelfani. Rashid was like, cool, no hard feelings. I see you on the other side. Peace. Be with you and also with you. And so that was pretty much that. Then we saw this whole thing where they're waiting for the other person to see if they're going to show up. Girl, y'all know they're going to show up. Stop playing. So Anthony showed up to meet Winter and Adrian showed up to meet Kelfani, and it was a whole moment. And then they went on a boat ride and, blah, blah, blah. Now, the big thing is going to be this reunion next week, Hunty. We're going to get into this reunion situation, okay? So yeah, that was pretty much it. For me, it was real anticlimactic because, again, I feel like these last 2 weeks, so many people voluntarily were like, yeah, this just ain't here for me. And I haven't seen any other seasons to compare it to, so I don't know if that's like the norm, that it gets to the end and people just sort of kind of bow out gracefully or take themselves out of it. Like, I don't know if that's the norm, but I don't know. These last couple of weeks, the way things went was just real anticlimactic. But I'm here for this reunion next week, y'all. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in those comments. Peace.